A time of great anguish for those who live at Collinwood, for the horror which is enveloping the great house continues to grow, and with the advent of Jeb Hawkes promises never to stop. And Barnabas Collins, forced to become a Leviathan to save his Josette, held hostage in the past, tries desperately to control the evil Jeb, fighting for time until he can destroy those who threaten him and his world. But summoned to the village, Barnabas discovers that he has less time than he thinks.
I don't know why you sent for me. I thought the matter was settled.
It is not.
I don't know why Carolyn came here tonight.
Because she was destined to. Just as she is destined to walk up those stairs and enter my room.
Your room?
Yes, Mr. Collins. I need company when I'm there.
She will become as you are when you are behind that door. I don't believe it.
There are many things in the book, Mr. Collins. You'd better believe it. Carolyn will be the first so honored. And then each one of you will be able to change your form.
And we will become as mindless as you when you change.
Be careful, Mr. Collins.
And we will murder as you do.
Of course, if it is necessary.
You cannot have Carolyn. The rest of us will face our fate if we must, but you cannot have her.
I can, and I will. Friday, there will be a wedding in my room. A wedding between Carolyn and me. Remember, Barnabas, Friday.
You're learning very well, David.
Did you sign my cast, Maggie?
He asked me to sign it before it was even dry.
I bet in a month there won't be any white spaces left. You know, I've never broken a bone before.
Well, I wish you'd tell me how you did this.
I told you already.
So tell me again. I still don't understand it.
I was riding my bicycle down Crown Street. You know where that little park begins?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got on the path. This man jumped out of the bushes.
Who was he?
I don't know. Never seen him before.
What did he look like?
He was tall and he had blonde hair. Kind of weird eyes.
Well, why didn't he help you to the hospital?
I don't know. When I fell, he just walked away.
I'm glad Megan found you and took you to the hospital. But you shouldn't have been in town, David. What were you doing there?
I don't have to tell you everything.
Were you going to the antique shop?
Why would I be going there? I wish you two would leave me alone. So what if I broke my leg? It's gonna heal, isn't it? I want to go show Mrs. Johnson.
I don't understand it.
Jebez, you will not marry Carolyn on Friday.
You will stop me?
Yes, I will.
When I was a child, you gave me orders. I hated it then, but there was nothing I could do. And now I can do anything I want.
Now you will still obey the orders. Now that you've killed her father, the wedding must be postponed until we find out how the book allows for this situation. According to the book, he is the one who is to give her away.
I have seen her, and I want her. And I told you before, you can give her to me.
All right. You may be right. But remember, according to the book, she must want you. She cannot be forced.
Force means one thing to you, Mr. Collins, and another to me. So why are you so against our marrying? Really?
Because we have many things to do before the time comes. Now, the book says that, well, there must be a timetable.
There is a timetable, and it's right here. And we will follow it. Friday evening, there will be a wedding in my room. Afterwards, you will prepare rooms at Collinwood for us. You will do that.
But Collinwood is not my house.
No, it is mine. I have seen to that. And you will do that, or I will go to Mrs. Stoddard.
No.
You will do as I tell you. After the wedding, Roger Collins will become one of us.
But what if he can't be taken over, though those who can't, you know?
Then he'll join the list of the expendables. There are a lot of people in that house whom I don't like. Dr. Hoffman. I think she's an enemy, don't you?
But she doesn't know enough to become an enemy.
But I have seen her watching me. And you will think of a suitable fate for her. And that's an order. And then there is Maggie Evans.
Maggie Evans doesn't even know you. What threat could she possibly be?
She was a threat to me when I was Michael, so she'll be a threat to me now. Her parents are dead, aren't they? There will be no questions asked.
That is not true. You are wrong.
Well, then you will have to do some very clever thinking. Amy. I know she's one of us, but that was against my permission.
You would even kill one of us.
Yes. I am not sentimental, Mr. Collins. She will have to go. The housekeeper, too.
Mrs. Johnson will do as I say, as Mrs. Stoddard says.
There will be other servants. I will see to that.
It is impossible!
I don't know what that word means, Mr. Collins. I only know that you have 12 hours to prepare for the wedding. Or else! I know how difficult it must be to only exist at night, to feel the lust for blood, so that it drives you like an animal hunting for prey. And think of Josette, with Oberon and Hazer standing guard over her. Hazer can be much more cruel than I ever dreamed of. Do you know what you are supposed to do? Do you know what you are to make happen? You will not forget.
David, what's happened?
You.
Yes, me. Welcome, David.
Why did you want to hurt me? Barnabas, he's the one. I was on my bicycle and he jumped out of the bushes.
You were responsible for this.
I can do what I want now. David must understand that I can be cruel as well as kind.
There was no need for you to harm this boy.
David and I will be very close, just as we were when we were Michael and Alexander. It is important that he understand this. It is very important.
Julia, have you seen David?
No.
He didn't go to the kitchen. Mrs. Johnson hasn't seen him, and he's nowhere downstairs. Now, where could he have gotten in a wheelchair?
I don't know. But I have an idea. David.
David Collins, now where have you been?
What's the matter?
Well, you shouldn't be out alone. You could have had another accident. Now, you let me help you upstairs.
I can get upstairs myself if you'll just hand me my crutches.
Dr. Hoffman?
That's all right. I think he should. He's got to learn how to do that sooner or later, Maggie.
All right, David. Now, you be careful. And be careful on those stairs. Now, why would he be outside? Sometimes I think there's something that's happening to this house and everyone in it. David is not the same little boy. I don't mean that he's just growing up. It's something much more than that.
Hello, David. Now, you know why I had to do that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Good. I'm glad you understand, even if Barnabas Collins doesn't. You and I always understand each other.
You were Alexander and Michael, weren't you?
Yes. I call myself Jed now. And you will always do exactly as I tell you.
Yes.
Good. You're a good boy. You get an A. You remember that radio that your father picked up in Boston for you? You gave that to me when I was Michael.
I remember.
I knew then how close we'd be. When you learned what you must. And now you have. So I'm going to give you something. You like this?
It's a neat watch.
Take it as a graduation present.
You don't have to give me anything.
I want you to take it.
David! Who? You're the one who caused his accident.
I'm Jeb Hawks.
What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. How did you get in here?
He just came in to see me.
Yes, I felt responsible.
How did you get up here? I didn't see you come in.
Well, I didn't want to disturb anyone. I just wanted to see David.
But you knew we wouldn't let you.
Yes, I guessed that.
Well, you can leave now. The boy needs his rest. I mean that.
Sure, Miss Evans.
Did you know my name?
Well, I've heard about all of you.
David, I'll talk to you later. Neither David's father or aunt will appreciate your visit. If you wanted to help David, you should have done it when he fell, Mr. Hawks.
You seem to think that there's something sinister in my coming here, Miss Evans. Believe me, there isn't. I always do what I want. Oh, Dr. Hoffman can verify that I'm loyal, kind, and sometime obedient. Can't you, Doctor?
You know each other?
Yes, we met. Although the doctor seems to be speechless now.
I'm surprised to see you here.
Well, it's nice to see you again. I must apologize for my rudeness on our first meeting. You can answer Miss Evans' questions?
Yes, some of them, at least.
Good night, Doctor. Miss Evans, we'll be seeing each other again.
Who is he?
I wish I knew.
He's frightening. His eyes, the way they stared at me. It reminded me of that terrible little Michael. Why was he in David's room? Why?
Maggie, you must find out.
Yes, I will.
Mr. Grant Douglas, please.
He was just sorry, I guess. Megan told him that I broke my leg.
David, he's a stranger. Now, why didn't he come to the front door and ask about you the way a stranger would?
Well, he came in the back door.
That was wrong, David.
He's different from other people, Maggie.
He certainly is.
Well, look, he gave me this.
Why did he give you that?
Because he was sorry. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't make me give it back. I like Jeb.
Why do you like him, David?
I don't have to tell you everything, Maggie.
David, you are going to tell me everything. I'm not leaving here until you do. There's more to this than you're telling me.
Quentin, thank you for coming.
What's wrong?
I need your help. I've got to solve the mystery of Jeb Hawks.
Never heard of him.
And of the mystery of Paul Stoddard's death and the others.
Mm-hmm. And you want me to play detective, is that it?
Well, I don't want to talk about it here. David and Amy are upstairs.
You don't trust them?
Not David, not after the way he's behaved tonight. Quentin, please come with me. Barnabas helped you. You've got to help Barnabas.
You shouldn't talk that way about Jeb.
David, I don't understand what's wrong with you. He caused you to have an accident, and you talk about him as if he were some sort of hero.
You mustn't hold him responsible for it. You mustn't, Maggie.
David, you're frightened.
I'm not frightened. Not of Jeb. Not now.
What do you mean, not now?
Well, not since he gave me this.
When I saw the birthmark on Jeb Hawk's wrist, I knew that he was the same person as Alexander and Michael. We've got to dig this grave.
Yeah, you just told me you saw Michael in his coffin.
Yes, I did, but I'm learning not to trust what I see anymore. Something that's happening is so terrifying that I'm sure the supernatural is involved.
You think they buried him, then tried to resurrect him?
I don't know. Yes, I think so.
Julia, if what you think is true, what are you going to do?
I won't know until I find out.
There here goes.
Couldn't sleep. I brought David to the door and then went home and tried to...
You found David? You brought him home?
Yes. I found him at the antique store.
What's happening? Why was David at the antique store? Who is this Jeb Hawks?
I wish I could answer your question, but I can't, Maggie. But there's something else on my mind, something equally important. I'm very concerned about Carolyn.
Yes, so am I.
I tried to persuade her to leave Collinsport, to forget her father and go somewhere else, but she won't.
I know, I tried that too.
We think alike, Maggie. You don't know how gratifying it is to find that out. I don't think that the antique shop is quite the answer for Carolyn. In fact, now that Jeb Hawks is there, I'm frankly afraid.
Of what?
I don't know. I just have the feeling. I know he's interested in her. He asks about her. I had the feeling that it is more than just a casual relationship. Maggie, you and Carolyn are such great friends. Certainly you can discourage her from going there.
Barnabas, it means a great deal to you, doesn't it? In some way I don't understand. I'll try to do everything I can. known each other for so long. And yet I never felt that you were so concerned about the family.
I'm concerned about all of you.
I'll try to do everything I can about Carolyn.
Thank you, Maggie.
Barnabas, I should check and make sure that David is asleep. I just don't... I don't trust Jeb Hawks.
You're very wise, Maggie.
Am I wrong involving her? Even to the extent I have? But I must have help if I am to end this.
Barnabas, I've got to talk to you immediately.
I'm sorry, but I'm tired, Julia.
I will not be put off again. You've got to listen to me this time.
I will not. I've told you not to involve yourself.
I'm afraid I am more deeply involved than I've been before.
What do you mean?
Barnabas, I just dug up Michael Hackett's grave. I found an empty coffin. What does that mean to you?
Nothing.
I'll tell you then what it means to me. I pronounced that child dead 2 weeks ago. I would swear that he was dead. But for some reason, it had to be faked that he was dead. I don't know how, but I do know why. In fact, I know so much about what's happening that you had better tell me everything.
All right, Julia. I will tell you the whole story.